so much for joining us on 13 News at noon, everyone. I'm Karen Campbell. This afternoon, one man is under arrest and charged with the kidnapping and murder of two Hoosiers. Matthew Johnson and Christina Dixon's bodies were found in the St. Mary's River in Fort Wayne last Friday. Allen County court documents label the victims were informants, citing a sergeant with Richmond Police Department. However, the Richmond Police Department has released multiple statements since then, saying that information is not correct. Detectives originally said the two people led police to a home involved in a drug raid back on September 10th. After the raid, police say they were looking for Dominic Washington, a known drug dealer. Washington is now charged with kidnapping and murdering Johnson and Dixon. Police believe he strangled Dixon and shot Johnson and then dumped their bodies in St. Mary's River. Now, Washington is currently being held in the Allen County Jail. Investigators say they anticipate more charges, or more arrests rather, in this investigation. This afternoon, we are hearing from the fiance of a woman killed in a hit and run less than a week ago. Police have not yet made an arrest in the death of 30-year-old Alexandra Rose Leal. Our Logan Gay talked with her fiance, who recounts the horrible events of that night.
Less than a week after Alexandra Leal was hit and killed while walking in the grassy area next to a street, her fiance, Shane Bernard, returned to the exact spot where it happened. He brought flowers and found something else.
Just picked it up out of the grass. Yeah, that's my little daughter's. A couple socks that we flew out, and that's what took her life. These socks and some other paperwork.
He says Alexandra was wearing that bracelet at the time she was hit. He says the two were on their way home after leaving their storage unit when Alexandra noticed something had flown off the truck.
And I said, let's just go. She's like, pull over. You know, we don't know what it is. So pull over and like, stay in the truck. I got it. And she jumps down like, you know, she's always helping out, giving a hand.
The next moments were caught on a neighbor's surveillance camera.
We're walking towards the truck, and I turn back around, and I just see the headlights coming straight for us. So I was like, move, Alexandra. And that's all I could get out, and he hit her, and I mean, I just seen her fly. I mean, she went so far in the air, man. If you could see the tracks, he started turning back. I literally had to jump out of the way, or he would have clipped me from the corner of his car. I just wish I'd have kept going. I told her to stay in the truck. To stay in the truck, I got it. And sometimes I just feel like it should have been me.
Bernard says two of their kids were in their trunk at the time. He says he finally got the nerve to tell his daughter on Monday that her mother is not coming home from the hospital.
And look at her in the eyes and just tell her mom's never going to come back, you know. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life.
Bernard says Alexandra was just as beautiful inside as she was outside.
Everybody loved her, you know. She was just so awesome. I mean, she was an angel, and he didn't have to come and take her this fast from us.
After going days without answers, Bernard is asking the community to help them get justice.
You need to, I mean, do the right thing, turn yourself in. I mean, there's somebody got to know something. You know, somebody's got to know this car's got damage. They see on an everyday basis.
And that's our Logan Gay reporting. IMPD is telling us that they are looking for 2002 to 2006 silver Toyota Camry. They encourage anyone with information to call them. And you can also make an anonymous call to Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. All right, we want to give you a live look right now outside on this fall kind of a Wednesday. It is cloudy right now, but you know what? We hear it's quiet on the radar. Sean is here to talk about also something else that is or could be coming our way.
It's coming our way.
Okay.
We are going to have impacts, as we've been saying here the last couple of days, from Helen. And yes, Friday probably going to be a busy day here.
Okay.
So let's get right into what's happening now. As Karen mentioned, yeah, we got clouds over parts of the state, including Indy, and cooler too. We're at 68. Kind of north wind. It's a quiet weather day for us, and it may look like it's going to want to rain all day long, and that's just not going to be the case. Just a random shower today and tomorrow. This is the story now that we focus on. Helen, officially a hurricane with 80-mile-per-hour wind. It's heading northwest. Eventually, that's going to curve a little bit more toward the north and northeast. How much to the northeast? That's still a bit uncertain, so exact landfall is uncertain. Category 3 at least at landfall in the Big Bend region. And then this thing is going to get whipped up almost like a slingshot through the Ohio Valley. And I'll explain what's going to cause that in a little bit, but we want you to know that Friday is going to be a weather impact alert day due to the duration of 30 to 50 mile per hour gust, upping the odds of numerous counties experiencing power outages. So we'll have more on this rest of your weekend all ahead in the 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Well, now to an update on a story 13 Investigates broke last week. A daycare worker in Anderson accused of mistreating a child now faces charges. Destiny Valadares faces 1 count of reckless supervision by a child care provider. Court records reveal a 3-year-old boy was left alone for up to an hour in a bathroom. We reached out to Valadares for comment, but she has yet to respond. We will pass along any new information once or if we hear back. Well, there are more than 9,200 kids in Indiana's foster care system. That's right now. And the Department of Children's Services is working to get those children back into a home with a parent. But when that cannot happen, some kids stay in foster care several years, eventually aging out of the system. Recently, 13 News sat down with Dominic Washington, who grew up in the foster care system since she was a baby. Washington reunited with her mom at different times, but her mom died of a drug overdose when she was a teenager. Washington says as she grew up, she worried how she'd make it in the real world. The nonprofit Foster Success helped her with some of the issues she was facing becoming an adult.
I'm just trying to make sure that with the knowledge that I've gained from the system, that I'm applying it and making sure that I can be a part of that change that I want to see.
And today, Washington, she's still part of Foster Success, using some of their programs, but also helping other children in the foster care system. According to DCS, the state offers a range of services for foster youth after they turn 18 up until they're 23. Happening today, National Guard troops at Camp Atterbury, they're gearing up to deploy to the Middle East. They're going as part of Operation Spartan Shield. Troops will leave today for Fort Cavazos, which is around 80 miles north of Austin, Texas. They'll spend a month there training before heading overseas. The U.S. Army says the goal is to help build U.S. defense relationships in the Middle East. There's a departure ceremony today for the troops happening at 1 o'clock at the North Barracks Complex at Camp Atterbury. Well, Tropical Storm Helene, we've been talking about this. Evacuations now underway in Florida. Ahead of Helene, just moments ago, the storm was confirmed as a hurricane. Now, Helene is expected to rapidly intensify over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico later tonight. A hurricane warning is now in place for parts of Florida. Helene is on track to make landfall on Florida's northern Gulf Coast Thursday. Now, forecasters say Helene is expected to be the strongest storm to hit the U.S. in over a year. And when Helene hits, Floridians will be getting help from Hoosiers on the ground. Indiana Task Force 1 is on its way. FEMA activated the team yesterday. This time of year during hurricane season, Task Force 1 is pretty much ready to go anytime. An 80-person group, a search and rescue team, is heading south.
Unfortunately, it's one of the areas that gets hit a lot with these storms, especially this time of year. So we're prepared to go and do what we can to help them.
We tend to make friends wherever we go. Somebody always remembers that Indiana was there to help them. We have friends all over the country now from all the times that we've gone out to help them. And that's the most important part, is they're a little bit closer to putting their life back together after the storm.
And leaders with Task Force 1 tell us missions like this one typically last around 14 days, depending on the severity of the storm. They were going to stop in Birmingham before finishing the trip and arriving in Pensacola later this afternoon. All right, it is time to talk sports, and of course it was a big night for the Indiana Fever as they get ready for their second game of their playoff series against the Connecticut Sun. The Fever were back at practice yesterday. after that loss in Game 1. It was a wake-up call for the team. Rookie star Caitlin Clark and the other players know what's at stake tonight. Coach Christy Sides tells us her players have been businesslike, putting in the work with one goal in mind, and that is forcing a Game 3. That would bring the playoffs back to Indianapolis Friday night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. But first, they've got to win tonight.